This is Dr. Carroll, and this is another video in the Python list series. This video is about the repetition list operator. And so let's start out with strings and then continue on to lists, and then I've got a caution at the end. So remember with strings that we can repeat a string with the star character, so the repetition operator. So if we have the string literal ha, and we say, hey, apply the repetition operator in the operand 5, then it's going to display ha 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 ha. Now that's strings. So now let's look at lists. For lists, the repetition operator, the same, makes copies of the references to the objects and puts them into a list. This is often used to initialize a list. Let's look at some examples. So if we have array equals the list with an element 0 in it, and then the repetition operator in 10, what that's going to do is it's going to create a list with 10 zeros in it, which is maybe what you want for initialization. And sure enough, there are 10 elements in this list. So we could, but maybe 0 is a potential value and we wanted to understand if it's been set or not. So here we could use none, which is a built-in constant, just like true and false are the other built-in constants. We could have rainfall equals none repeated 7 times, and then it would display a list with none, comma none, comma none, comma none, and have none 7 times. And then when we set a value, then it'd be 0 or 1 or whatever the case is, and then we'd know if it was set or not. Another case, we could have 3 string literals, and we could say, hey, well, great, we have that for weekend identifiers, but now we want it for all 4 weekends, and so we could replicate them with the repetition operator, and then it would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So now let's look at another example. Okay, now we have an empty list with the repetition operator and 10 and assign it to values. And so if we print it out, it just displays a empty list. And so what's going on here is it takes all of the values in the list, it repeats them 10 times and puts them in a list. Well, this does not create a list of 10 elements, so we need to be careful of that. This is a common newbie mistake. But what it is a list, but it's an empty list, as you'd expect with a length of 0. So watch out for that, don't make that mistake. Now let's talk about repetition and references. And here we need to be careful if we're using repetition with a list in a list. And that's different what we've been doing before. We've been repeating lists, but let's look at lists in a list. Okay, so back to what we've done before. If we have fruits and then we say, hey, take that list, because fruits is a list, and then double it, we're going to get mango, kiwi, banana, all in a single dimensional list. Both the values repeated, okay? And so if we change fruits here, it has created a separate list. And so this list remains unchanged. Now notice and this is just a single dimensional list. Now notice what happens if we take a list, fruits again, but now we put fruits inside a list and then repeat that. So now it's going to take what's inside the list, repeat it twice, and then create a new list from that. Well, if we display it, notice it's a 2-dimensional list. The first element is really the fruits list, and the second element is really the fruits list again. This is the same as if we took it and instead of having fruits there, we actually copied and pasted fruits. And notice, oh, that really illustrates that we have a list of a list, which is where we get into trouble. And let me show you what I mean by get into trouble. So if we take fruits and innocently change the second one to peach, and then we display it again, notice what happens here. And so do you see the peach and the peach here? It changed it in two different places. Well, what's going on? Let's look at this diagrammatically. Okay, so if we have fruits here, mango, kiwi, banana, this is what we would expect. Fruits is showing that. But now when we say fruits, list of fruits equals a list with fruits in it and replicated twice, it says, okay, I'll make a list of two elements and I'll take whatever's in here and I'll copy those references. And so we only have one fruits list, but we have it being where we can get to it from fruits or from either elements, which is probably not what we wanted to do. And so this is the same as if we had specified it this way. Either way, we're going to get at the same result. But this way, with the list in a list, I think makes it more clear what's going on. So now when we change fruits 1 peach, it's no surprise when we display list of fruits list that it says, okay, yep, it's mango, peach, banana. And guess what? This one is mango, peach, banana as well. Sounds like we should put all those in a blender. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Check out my other videos in the Python list series.